Hello, this is Keith. I'm with EveningsHadowsTarot.com, and I would like to do a reading for you we're going to ask the question, do we get messages from the other side? Are they sent to us in different ways? I used to get a few messages and things that I can't explain, and I put those stories on here, and I hope you'll enjoy them. A lot of things we can't explain, and I wonder about it, and now that I'm working more and more with cards and meeting more and more people, I do believe that there are powers that we don't know about, and if there are people on the other side, loved ones that are sending us messages, and some people that maybe we don't know. I have guides, and my grandmother is a guide. Her name was Sue, Choctaw Indian. She's my mother's mother. My mother and my father are both guides. I have aunts, most of them on mother's side of the family, and they were my grandmother was very superstitious, and she believed in bad things happening to you if you did things wrong, like opening an umbrella in the house was bad luck, and breaking a mirror, and I know everybody's heard that one. Black cats crossing your path. Now, I have black cats, and I don't believe that they are bad luck. I really love them. I had asked for a black cat, and I said I would love to have a black cat with green eyes. I saw one, and I thought it was pretty. Well, do you know, I kept saying that over and over, and this little cat came to it wasn't full grown, it came to my front porch. Now, it was afraid, and I don't think it had ever been in a house, and I had this, I put food out for it. Well, it scared it, and it ran away, but then it came back and ate that food. So the next day, it showed up for some more food. So each day, I have a long porch in front of my house. My house is 70 years old, and it has a great big porch on the front, and I like it very much. It's not a fancy house, it's just a real warm, loving house. And so I put that can down, and I moved it probably about 1 foot. And then I went way down to the other side, and it sat and watched it eat. Well, I do this each day. I would put it just closer and closer. Well, pretty soon, it trusted me, and it was right beside me. Then I reached down, and I petted it, and it let me pet it. And then pretty soon it let me pick it up. And then I thought, well, I had 2 little dogs. I thought, I wonder if I could take it in the house. I did. And it liked being in the house and living in the house and having the food and seeing what was going on. The dogs liked it. And pretty soon it got older, and I didn't think too much about it. And then it started putting on weight. And I said, I think this cat is going to have kittens. Well, it did, and it had 6 black kittens with green eyes. Well, I didn't know that while they were still nursing the litter that they could get pregnant again. I was going to have her fixed. As soon as she weaned the kittens, well, she was already pregnant. And she had 4 more kittens, black with green eyes. So we have more than our share of cats. We don't have them all here, and they don't stay in the house, but we have found homes for some of them, and some are here, and they come in when they want to. And I'm just really crazy about them. So I think you can manifest something. I manifested too many black cats with green eyes, but I do believe that they are lucky. I think that I didn't know if we really got messages. My grandmother taught me how to read, and she used different cards than these. And then I've gotten interested in the tarot cards. So what we're going to do is do a reading. Do you feel like messages are sent to us? Do you feel like there's someone on the other side helping us? I must tell you that I had a vision. A friend of mine was married, and he had a wonderful wife, and I was best man at his wedding. and that they were a wonderful couple. That they had two different religions, and they wound up being Mormon, and both of them joined them. So they had the same religion, and they had Mormon friends, and I met a few of them, and was invited to their church several times to have a meal. And the nicest people you'd ever want to meet, wonderful Mormon people. And so he married a second time. His wife passed away finally, and he married a second time. And that marriage didn't last, and a short period of time. And so they got a divorce, and then he married again, and he married a Mormon girl this time, and she was was a good wife, and she had children by another marriage. Her husband passed away, and then of course he had one son who became a doctor, and after here not long ago, he and his wife, third wife, were moving, and he bought a house sight unseen, which just amazes me because he was always particular and never really trusted anyone, which I thought was wise because I was always trusting the wrong people. And so he married, he decided that they were going to move again. They lived in Colorado, and they were going to move down to Texas, and he bought this house sight unseen. And I just couldn't believe that he would buy a house sight unseen. But he bought it over Facebook, and someone had it listed. And so they were moving, and they packed up everything and moved. And the next morning he got up and he was fixing to move the things out of the truck that they had rented, U-Haul, and brought their furniture. And he was fixing, and he didn't come back in the house. And so she went to the truck and hollered at him, and he didn't answer her. And she knew that he was in there because the door was open. So she looked, and he was lying on the floor of that truck, and he hadn't moved anything. And so she phoned for help, and they came, and he had passed away. Well, I feel that he contacted me not long ago, and in this, I asked him if he had. It seemed like he was awfully busy in this life, this new life, Passover, and it was like he was taking time, but he didn't want to talk to me briefly, because we had been good friends at one time, and I kept thinking, well, this is strange of him, and he said, I'm awfully busy, and I do a lot of studying, and I never thought about people studying on the other side, but that's what he told me. And I said, do you ever see your first wife? I won't mention her name or his. And he said, no. Well, he was absolutely crazy about her. And I said, you don't see her? He said, oh, once or twice I've seen her. Well, I could realize then that he was letting me know that you feel differently after you've passed on, that maybe that lifetime, the last lifetime, you were close to that person, and you were looking forward to maybe being reincarnated. I don't know if he felt reincarnation, but he was studying. That was very important to him, and he just kind of let me know. No, he just didn't have time for that. And I said, how do you like? How are you liking passing over? I didn't know how to word it, you know. And he looked at me, and he was very sincere, and he said, I love it. I said, Paul, do you love it? He said, I love it. And I thought, well, gosh, that's wonderful, you know, that he loves this life. So I've talked to him one other time, and it was the same story, but it was like he had a different life. The people that were important to him were no longer important to him. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. So let's, I hope I have enough time. I have about 5 minutes to do this. That story lasted a little longer than I thought it would. Let's see what the cards think. The first one is rushing in with a sword. That means finding the truth. The next one is if you had a bad life, and these arrows, and I think anybody that has lived a full life, like my friend, have had bad things happen to them, but that's aside, so we know that once you pass on, this is over. There's no more heartache, and we're going to rush in and tell the truth. The next one is sharing, and that shows it's the Six of Cups, which is emotion, and it's sharing. Look, the lady is giving this child some flowers and sharing. So he did share with me that information. He didn't seem to want to take time away from his studies, which surprised me. And then he said, well, I must rest now. And I could tell I was certainly not very important anymore. The next one is stealing weapons. And this is the Seven of Swords. And that's truth. And it's stealing weapons away. In other words, I think this shows Paul is learning about his life. Now, he's not a violent person by any means. The next one is the lovers, and he let me know that that wasn't important anymore. That even though they were madly in love here on earth, and I mean they certainly were happy, that didn't count. You might love people there, but it wasn't important. And it didn't seem like he palled around with anyone. It was studies and learning, and he had developed that interest when he became Mormon. The next one is the hangman, and he's hung upside down, and he's happy. He's got this halo around here. He's happy, and it's take time out to think. You know, maybe think about what life would be like. The next one is dealing with the church, and you see the people in the church meeting and talking about what they think death brings. And I know we all think about death, or most of us do, and whether there's something. There have been times that I have thought there's nothing. And you know, the more I work with these cards, the more I'm beginning to think there's something on the other side. There's some powers I didn't realize. The next one is celebrating. And the man is on a horse, and he has a wand. And you notice that there's a wreath here for celebration. That's probably a celebration of life, because you've learned something in this lifetime. The next one is the King of Swords. Again, truth coming through. This one is building up a wall for protection. And I would think education and truth would help you with that, to where you would not be harmed. You know what's coming. And I think we're all curious about it. The next one is a catastrophe. And maybe your life was a catastrophe, and it's no longer going to be that. You're not going to be worried any longer. So that gives us a little bit of idea, and I believe this tells us what this is, the card's preview of what life is like. And this one where the tower is, people are so alarmed and so upset, the lightning, and they're jumping out of the tower. And I guess committing suicide rather than staying in this burning tower. What I think it teaches us is that there's an end to that. There's no more problems. And write and let me know what you think. I hope you'll subscribe and hit that bell, and where you'll know when I have new videos out. I will have 50 as of today when I get through downloading them. Some are games, some are just telling stories, some are readings, and give you an idea. If you would like a reading, well, come to my website and you can get it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.